All right, so tackling the meaning of life, right? So let's break this up into a couple of videos. We'll do the meaning of life for straight evolutionists and then the meaning of life for like straight Christians, right? And then everybody's, or not everybody, but a lot of people are somewhere in between. Look, these are age-old questions that smarter people have really been debating for a long time, and so that's not necessarily like a clear-cut answer on this, and that's great. But like, you gotta have an answer for yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be the most goddamn accurate thing in the world, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, some kind of a worldview for yourself, you then don't have a North Star. You don't know how to connect the dots. You don't know what is true. You don't know where to go. You don't know where to find meaning. Because, like, look at some people that are in cults and stuff, right? They're not super accurate, but at least they're moving in a direction, right? So, number one, looking at an evolutionary point of view, objectively, you would ask the questions, what is the meaning of life from an evolutionary point of view? You could go back to the data. All right, so let's do that. You zoom out and you see billions and trillions of organisms living on this planet for billions of years. Great. Okay, so what are they all doing? Well, let's see. The earthworm and the frog and the sheep and the dog and the people, they're all kind of doing the same thing. They're born very small. And then what do? They just grow. And then things start to switch over as they get older. Now it's about giving. So they got to go find a spouse. They got to have babies. And now they got to give to those babies. Now, along the way, if they can produce some kind of beneficial adaptation, right? So they grow wings or get smarter or end up with an opposable thumb. Awesome. That's kind of the ultimate goal in the evolutionary finding meaning in life is you grow up big and strong, you find a mate, you reproduce, and hopefully if one of your babies is Michael Jordan, you won the lottery because now you've passed on something beneficial to your species. So great. All right, so what about the rest of us that don't grow so well and we don't have a wonderful marriage life and our kids are total losers? So now it comes into you use your adaption features. It's like, well, I can teach them how to do something great with their life, or I can do something great with my life, or maybe my great-grandkids will do something great with their life. They can invent something, they can have a business, they can bring some kind of meaningful help to the world, or maybe they're just walking around helping people at church, for Christ's sake, and they're just creating that positive butterfly effect of sending good positive energy rippling down through the species over the eons. Sounds pretty meaningful and also sounds pretty meaningless, right? Because a lot of atheists, especially young kids, fall down that hole of nihilism and what's the point and the whole planet's going to blow up and get sucked up into the stars anyway, so who cares, right? Okay, all of that is absolutely true, at least again from an evolutionary atheist point of view, right? That is something that you can stare at with your human mind, your logical mind, your rational mind, and that can be your reality, and you can lock onto that and go, there is no meaning, there's no point, there's no hope, and that totally makes sense and that totally works. I've been down that hole for a while. It's real fucking fun. I recommend it to everybody. When you're done with that, what I have found later is that going back to the first steps where evolutionarily all of these species, all these animals, including humans, are kind of genetically geared to grow and give. And I'm talking about like your body. Your body is geared to grow and to give. Like the desire to connect with other people and do something positive and meaningful, even if it's just helping somebody on the street, that's in all of our genetics and all of our wiring, right? So when you end up in life to where you can do that a lot, here's where shit gets weird. Your body starts to change. Your body starts to get really alive and healthy. Like your energy levels can change, depression can change, chemicals can change. This is what you'll hear Tony Robbins and a lot of other different people talking about, this physiological chemical state changes when your body is awakened, from my opinion, my perspective, to kind of this ancient old evolutionarily wiring of, hey man, this stupid meat sack of mine, all it wants to do is it just wants to grow and it just wants to give something beneficial to the world and to the species. Because in the end, here's the good news. It all blows up, it all gets sucked into the stars, so it doesn't really matter. This can give you the ability to relax, not take things so seriously, because we're all living on borrowed time anyways.